What's up, YouTube? So today we're going to talk about one of the most beautiful fish here in my tank, and that is the bristlenose pleco. The bristlenose pleco is also known as Ancistrus. It is usually found in many aquarium settings at home, and a lot of people choose this over other pleco species because of its capability to control algae and because of its size, which doesn't get too big compared to other species. It can also be found in several other nicknames, including bushy-nosed catfish and bushmouth pleco. It got its name from the protruding bristles that are most commonly visible on males. They are protected by hard plates that surround the body, and they also have fine spikes on their skin. For those who have touched their pleco, you would know what I mean. They come in different variety of colors, including albino, brown, green, and some even have spots. It usually just depends on the person what their preference is. I prefer the brown one because I just think they look good when they blend in with their environment. Based on my experience, these fish are very docile and they tend to mind their own business. The only time I've seen aggression is when it's feeding time and she has to feed with the other catfish I have here, which is a Farloella catfish. That's because they pretty much occupy the same level of water, and that's when the territory dispute happens. They will usually be hiding in their burrows if there's no food. They originate from the rivers of South America, therefore, a tank with medium flow will be suitable. The water temperature is around 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit and 15 to 27 degrees Celsius. Since the water in South America rivers are usually low pH, they would thrive in a tank with pH of 5.8 to 7.5. But as I mentioned before, I am a fan of just maintaining the pH of the tank constant instead of manipulating it, especially if these fishes are born in captivity. Since they don't grow as big as their pleco relatives, I do suggest that a minimum tank size for one will be a 30-gallon tank. Some would even say a 20-gallon will be sufficient, but I think that the bigger the tank is, the happier the fish will be. They will occupy the lower portion of the water, so that's something to consider when it comes to decorating your tank and choosing your tank mates. You can form some caves with rocks or put some pots there where they can feel safe and unbothered. Having a lot of plants in the tank will ensure that they will be given a lot of protection, as they are usually more active at night. Aside from consuming algae, they will also consume food that you have given to other tank mates. It would also eat uneaten food, decaying plant matter, and they will occasionally eat dead fish if they were not picked up immediately. I have heard of them sucking on some of other fish's lime coat, but as far as my experience goes, I haven't had any issues with that. They also love sucking on the bark of trees, so if you have a wood decoration in your tank, and I mean the real wood, that will be ideal. Just be sure the wood doesn't have any chemicals in it. My bristlenose doesn't really eat plants, but I will occasionally see her sucking on dead or dying leaves of some of my plants. Also, if there's algae on my plants, you would definitely see her on some of those leaves. If I were to get some tank mates for my Ancistrus, I will choose something that occupies a different water level. Maybe a top swimmer or a medium swimmer would do. If you do end up getting fish that is another bottom swimmer, be sure to have enough space for both of them, because as I have mentioned, this fish can get very territorial. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe and leave a comment on the section below. Once again, fish out!